Yeah, no rush. Hi, how you doing? Super. Cool. It's good to be back in the old room. I like it. Looks good. Did IBX give equal money to Subaru? Oops.
We're going to get started with head coach Jim Curtin. We'll start with an opening statement, then we'll go to questions in the room and any remaining time. Recording in progress. Jim?
Thanks, Erica. Yeah, just to reflect quickly on Costa Rica and Saprissa, I thought, as a head coach, you're always, worried exactly what it's going to look like going into the game. I don't think people fully understand, or maybe if TV does it justice, just how loud and difficult it is to play down there. Obviously, not our best first half with dealing with the elements, the wind, the rain. Fell behind, but I think really leaned on our cohesiveness and the fact that these guys have been through the battles together in elimination competitions at halftime and remained calm, and showed in the second half what we're capable of and what we're about. The challenge now is to sustain that for 90 minutes. The one thing I will give credit to our sports performance department. Our fitness level, I thought, was at a really good level. Ryan Cotter, Joe Trocchio deserve a really good job for having the boys ready to play, and we got stronger as the game went on, which, with them being 8 games into their season, us playing our first, that was surprising, and I really liked our fitness level. So hopefully now, have some travel in our legs, but I think everybody's recovering well, and look forward to a home opener where in Subaru Park we are a really strong team. I reminded the guys you only get one home opener each season, so make the most of it. But we have a Chicago opponent that will be hungry to come in here and get points. They've made some big adjustments and changes to their roster. I think some will be available tomorrow, some maybe not, but we'll see. But we're prepared to play a really strong team. Frankie Klopas does a great job as a coach, and we expect a tough task.
We'll let you guys take it.
Get a hard one out of the way first. Replacement refs on the field this
Yeah.
weekend unless something changes in the next 3 hours. What does that mean to you, first of all, as a former player and a labor guy for a long time yourself?
Yeah, look, everybody works and wants to be valued. So again, I can't speak on their labor dispute. We recognize now that the league has adjusted and adapted and is making the most of the situation. The referees and the list of referees that they have is one that have been professionals, have dealt with professional games in different leagues internationally and in the United States. So, we won't use that as an excuse. We won't use it as a distraction. It's out of our control, to be honest. So hopefully a resolution can come into place. But at the same time, now we have a job to do, just like the referees do tomorrow. And it's under a lot of pressure in front of a big crowd. And it's not an easy job. You guys have heard me talk about it the entirety of my time here. It's a thankless job. It's a difficult job. And it's one that is hard. So hopefully, we get a good, well officiated game tomorrow, which I think we will, and we go from there.
Say anything to the players about how they might have to handle it for a referee who doesn't. They've got professional experience,
Yeah.
not at this level. Do you say anything to your guys about keeping their tempers on, et cetera, whatever it may be, for referees who might not be used to the speed, the VAR, et cetera, so on?
Yeah, look, we have a scouting report, obviously on Chicago, but we have a scouting report on every referee in this league as well, that comes out. So that part will change a little bit because the names are different and maybe not as haven't had as many games. But at the same time, we tell our players to remain calm as best they can when there is a good call, a bad call, whatever it is, something that goes for you or against you. There's always ebbs and flows to the game. Yeah, the refereeing is certainly, I'm not going to lie and tell you it's not a part of the game. It is, at every level and every pro sport. But hopefully, with the addition of VAR, with the good job that the league's done to get the new officials up to speed as quickly as possible, they can rely on that and lean on that professional experience that they have and execute on the field just like the players.
That was Audrey, Lee.
Yeah, Andre, I think everybody saw against Saprissa had a little bit of a strain, adductor strain. It'll be a game time decision. Obviously, we know how good we are with Andre and net. Oliver has been good as well, so we'll see where Dre's at exactly. You know, hopefully it's not a long-term thing. I don't think it's anything too severe, but we'll see tomorrow. Do some testing and see exactly where he's at. But that'll be a game time choice.
I know we saw last year the gap and some of the mistakes and goals you guys let up without him. With Oliver in, it potentially could be his first start with the club. You a little nervous about having to go to him in a home opener with, I guess, like a month worth of training chemistry?
Yeah. Look, these guys are professionals, and all pros want to be on the field. So we don't want anyone in that locker room that's happy as a reserve. So Oliver's no different. He's been an excellent goalkeeper in USL at Louisville for quite some time. Did a great job there. We see a guy that progressed and is ready for this next step. So if he's called upon tomorrow, I know he'll be ready. The back line has full confidence in him, and he's done really well in training so far, getting acclimated to his team. So is it fair to compare him to Andre? It's probably a little unfair, you know what I mean? So at the same time, he has to be Oliver. That's all we're going to ask him to be, and do his job if he's called upon. So just like any other player, I want him to have a hunger to be on the field, and if that's the case, we're perfectly comfortable with that. But we also know just how talented Andre is as well. Jack Elliott will be back in the group as well, injury-wise. I had an adductor also, and they're tricky. You know, they can kind of it becomes a situation where there's not a tear in there. There's a little bit of a strain, but he'll be okay. He trained fully today and will be available for us tomorrow for selection, which is good.
When it comes to selecting the matchday roster, I know we sat back here in December, and the rotation and managing these guys and making sure these sports hernias that two guys picked up last year don't happen again and stuff like that. How do you do it though? Because, or at least at the start of the season, these guys are still fresh.
Yeah.
Every season you want to get a result and keep that momentum up going into Tuesday.
Yeah, we're fresh right now. I would still say, you know, second game of the year, these guys can handle this load. Where it gets tricky now is the turnaround to Saprissa. You know, that will be, you know, guys with some real minutes on their legs. But you're right, we will have a group that, you know, we're going to need everybody to be ready, you know, ready for when they're called upon. Sometimes it'll be for 90, sometimes for 60, sometimes for 45, sometimes for 1 minute to close out the game. But I think you saw in our first game, we went to the bench probably a little quicker than usual with Chuchu and Ali, and they came in and impacted the game and helped us in a big way. You know, Ali gave us some real calmness and experience on the field. It moved Quin up a little bit higher up the field while the defense was tired, which I really liked. And Quin set up 2 goals for us, which was important. And then Chuchu came in and quietly did his job too, with Jose on the yellow card. Which is something that happens occasionally. So we'll need him to be ready too. So we have probably 14, 15 guys that are capable as starters, and we have to plug and play them and keep guys fresh throughout the remainder of the year.
Bueno, I know he's still at starting caliber, but with the way Quin's played on the right,
Yeah.
I mean, how do you mix him in? I know he's mixed in with Jack,
Yeah.
Jose. Is he someone that could also mix in that role on the right with Quin as well?
Yeah, Bueno, you're saying? Yeah, Bueno can play pretty much anywhere across all 3 midfield spots. He's very versatile. He can play as a 6. He can play on either side as an 8. If we do play 3 in the back, he could play as 2 6s. So he's a very versatile player, guy I trust a great deal, and has been excellent for us last season and did a great job again for us in the game against Saprissa. And he'll be starting games coming up here very soon. When you talk about the busyness of the schedule, you look at Saprissa, you look at going to KC, quick turnaround possibly against, if we are lucky enough to move on, against Pachuca, and then on, and we'll be in this rhythm of playing 3 games a week.
We're going to go to the camera in the back and then
Just a quick question. It's opening day in
Yeah.
February. Do you guys do anything, in particular for the cold, or will there be any offerings for the fans coming to a cold soccer game?
Yeah, look, Subaru Park has become the hardest place to play in this league. I think in our last 65 matches here, I think it's only like 4 defeats or some crazy statistic like that. But the group is comfortable in this building. It gets very loud, whether it's cold, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whatever the elements are, the people come out and support us here. That's something that the last 5-6 seasons we've shown a real consistency, and we know it's going to be loud here. Look, February in Philly can be about as unpredictable as anywhere in the country. Having said that, we're playing a team in Chicago where the weather's, I'll just say, pretty similar. It would have been a great week to get Miami or a team that maybe isn't as used to the cold. But at the same time, the schedule's the schedule. You can't control that. But we know this will be another sellout here at Subaru Park. We'll need our fans to be behind us. This is a really fun group to get behind, and one that I think can do special things this year.
To go back to Quin Solin for a
Yeah.
moment, he'd certainly played the deep spot before some years back. Now he's back to doing that again. What did you see from him transitioning back to that?
Yeah, it was tricky because, like I mentioned, the first half for everybody is tough to analyze because the chaos in that stadium with the rain, with the wind, and the crowd. We never really got ourselves going. You know, we were so stretched from front to back. Nobody was really connected or close to each other. I think that maybe the end of the first half going into the second half, we calmed down a little bit. You saw some of the things that Quin can do in midfield. As the game opened up and got stretched, you see his fitness, his ability to still run at his max when everybody else's legs get a little tired is a real weapon. That's a testament to him and how hard he works. But then he made, I thought, 2 really mature plays for a young player. One where the through ball that he plays to Gazdag, where you're in that part of the box, so many people overhit that pass or get excited and maybe shoot. He plays a ball to Gazdag that Danny doesn't have to break stride, and Danny makes a good play too for the tap in. But then the other one that I liked a lot was, Nathan wins the tackle, Quin gets in behind, gets kind of caught, but rather than just putting his head down and kicking it and shooting as hard as he could, he kind of pauses, cuts the ball back, lays the ball to Danny again, and Danny plays the final through ball to Julian. So 2 composed plays that I count as assists, the pass that leads to the pass that leads to the goal. Really good mature plays from him. But I think you'll see when the game opens up and stretches and he has those fresh legs still because he doesn't get tired, that can be a real weapon late in games especially.
All right, we have time for one on Zoom.
Back to George. Hey, Jim. I don't think we've talked much about Ty Baribo this preseason.
Yeah.
What do you kind of see as his role, and where does he kind of fit into the depth chart right now?
Yeah, Ty missed about 2+ weeks of preseason, so never really got going. And look, he's going to work hard, just like everybody does, to get back into the 20, back into the starting group, getting back into getting minutes. So that's kind of where we're at. It's a merit-based system. I think every player on our group knows how clear that is. When decisions go for you versus decisions against you, it's usually based on how the week goes of training. And hopefully, Ty can get healthy fully and start to put together some good weeks. But, yeah, having missed a couple weeks in the preseason, that was a tough way to start. But, again, as we all know, it's not about how you start. It's how you progress during the course of the season, and we expect big things from Ty.
And just in terms of kind of the captaincy this year, obviously Ale still has a role. He might not be the guy on the field as much. And now if you're looking at a situation where Andre's off the field maybe this weekend because of the injury, how do you see this team managing it? And because of the group that you have, is the guy that necessarily wears the armband maybe not as significant sometimes because you have leaders throughout the field?
Yeah, it's a good question, Matt. And look, it almost the group is so close and understands each other so well. Even when we had the Champions Cup meeting, they caught us off guard in CONCACAF style, and we had to do a mini photo shoot for the TV there, and we arranged it. And one of the random people there said, "Can the captain come up for a photo?" And instantly everybody said Ollie. Dre was going to be the captain in the game the next day, but everybody says Ollie. So it kind of polices itself in that regard. Dre will wear it when Ollie isn't in the starting group. If both of them aren't in the starting group, Jacob will wear it. So again, we have a group that leads by example, that kind of does their talking on the field, but maybe most importantly, knows each other and respects each other so much that I didn't even have to speak up, because I had kind of an SHIT moment when he said, "Captain, come up," because in my brain I went, "Oh man, how is this going to go? Are they going to say Ollie? Are they going to say Andre?" And the team inherently just said, "Get up there, Ollie, and take the picture." So meaningless picture, by the way. I don't know what the heck it was used for, but it happened.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you.